What up, though? I know, seriously, until it returns, until BMF series returns, you're gonna hear me say what up, though, for the rest of these streams. All right? Until it returns. I'm joking. I don't know. I'll probably think of a new phrase to say, but for now, it has to be what up, though. You know what I'm saying? But seriously, though, let me just say in the chat, but let me say happy holidays. But anyway, listen, we're going to get straight into this reaction right now. Get me? You need to understand something here. You need to understand. Hey, yo, there's a lot going on in this. Where do I even start? You know what? I think it's this guy here. It might be this one. Let me see. Was it this guy? It's this guy I'm thinking of in terms of I don't know if he's. Okay, yeah, here we go. What do you mean it's a terror for Jacob? Okay, wait. First of all, let's react to this first. Alright, so hold up. If you are a Kendrick Lamar fan, hit that subscribe button. If you are a Kendrick Lamar fan, hit that subscribe button. If you are a, TDE fan, hit that subscribe button. Because obviously SZA just dropped a new deluxe album of SOS. You know what I'm saying? Get me? Let's go. And Kendrick Lamar 30 for 30. Gonna have to react to that. Unless we'll see. Look, even Screwface Jeans got onto it before me. That's cool. But anyway, hit the subscribe button, like, follow, share from all that. Kendrick Lamar just made Drake look pathetic again.
Now, closing out what has been one of the best years for hip-hop music in a very long time, we have gotten what is seemingly the last moment from Kendrick Lamar in what has been one of the greatest single-year runs we have ever seen from an MC, as on his fellow TDE member SZA's deluxe version of her 2022 album SOS Lana, which finally came out after so much hype and speculation.
What did I tell you about that album? That was it. Let's go.
Kendrick Lamar has given us his second feature verse of the year on the track 30 for 30, and with this song, with some of the bars Kendrick is throwing out here, which in terms of what they are saying content-wise are surprisingly aggressive for an R&B cut, people are speculating that he is dissing Drake once again here, and when you actually look into the song...
I mean, if you listen to it, yeah, it's like, if the shoe fits, wear it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with the... I'm not even going to call that person a comedian because they're not a comedian. They just happen to be from a certain they happen to be, you know what I mean? And basically, long story short, in regards to that, is they feel they're able to get away with saying a lot of stuff and using comedy as the scapegoat. You know what I mean? Because even I don't know who it is, but someone said it almost feels like with comedians, they can get away with saying and doing anything. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, some people are going to get offended, but at the same time, you know what I mean? Like, what are the consequences? You know what I mean? Like, especially if your audience isn't of certain, like, let's be real, that other person, his audience isn't for hip hop culture, but he happens to use hip hop culture to be able to, you know what I mean, gain some views, like they always do. Yeah? Like these companies, anyway, I won't get into it, but anyway, let's go.
Lyrics. With the way Kendrick is talking and really celebrating everything that has went down this year from him and his collaborators as a whole, and then also see the grand picture and references Kendrick is making. What Kendrick is doing here is not actually dissing Drake, but is just straight up trolling and making fun of him in one of the most hilarious ways we have seen. And once you realize...
is he really trolling him though? I don't think he's trolling him. I just think it happens to be, like I said, if the cat fits or if the shoe fits, wear it. Do you know, like, it's like, do you know what happens in hip hop in general? Yeah, sometimes in hip hop, some people can be just chatting a load of whatever, and you think it's about someone, but it's not necessarily about anyone. It's just them just chatting. Now I get it. You would think Kendrick Lamar is not going to be just chatting. You know what I mean? But I don't know, man. And obviously, yeah, you can draw inspiration to say it is that person, but I don't know if Kendrick is going to say something. He will say, he will mention names. Because remember, White Top Muriels, he mentioned names. Okay, maybe didn't mention, or maybe, I don't know, he mentioned names. For example, Snoop Dogg, Lil Wayne. But anyway, let's go.
What this feature is exactly alluding to. You're going to see just how tapped in Kendrick Lamar is with everything that's going on. And now, before we get any further into this, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It helps.
Because if anything, Kendrick will say something about 50. He will definitely say something about 50. Because 50, he's the one that's been trolling. Like, he's trolling both sides. He's trolling Kendrick and he's trolling Drake. But I don't know why. Yeah? Like, for me, I thought as soon as he went on that guy's show, I was like, nah, whatever, man. I like the Power Universe. I'll stay watching that. Other than that, I don't really care about 50, man. He's just, for me, I don't know. It is what it is, isn't it?
And so now with this new song from Kendrick and SZA, after Kendrick Lamar spent the entirety of 2024 rapping like not just the best rapper on the planet, but also the most competitive MC as well, who every time he stepped in the booth had to deliver a top-tier performance or people would have tried to discredit him. Here he knows that in this era, after all of the beef,
glad it actually did that straight to Evans, because I want to say something about that. Because from the very moment Kendrick Lamar dropped Section 80, from when he dropped Section 80, I'm telling you this from now, he's always been rapping like he is that guy. It's only because now he's got the quote-unquote box, but even he's had box in the past, you know what I mean? Like, sit down, be humble. Sit down, or we gonna be all right. Hey, we gonna be all right. Listen, he's got bangers. Like, you need to understand, he's genuinely got bangers. You see, when the Super Bowl halftime show happens, you're gonna realize how many bangers he actually genuinely has. Like, he's got bangers. Like, he's got bops. Yeah, in the terms you want to use, he's got bops. Not like us, not just like TV off. Like, he's got bops. Let's keep it moving. And also like his rap skills within those bops. If you pay attention, he's still barring. He's not just chatting nonsense. Because some people could do that. They could do bops, but they're chatting nonsense. But let's go.
Which of course he was crowned the winner of in every single way possible, and with the release of his album GNX, which is breaking so many records and even after a month of sales, is still selling over 100K every week. All of this has more than proved that no rapper can even come close to what Kendrick is doing in this moment, and because of how far...
Not even, like, Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre released their album, I think it's called Missionary. I still haven't listened to it, to be honest, and I should, and I will. However, allegedly, that sold even less than GNX. So, who really is the king of the West? West Side? Aye, you know what I'm saying? But then Snoop Dogg did crown Kendrick Lamar the new king of the West anyway, years ago. So,
far he is at the top. He can now lower the intensity and aggression down, and this is exactly what he does here. And overall on this cut 30 for 30, this is what allows for it to feel so refreshing and atmospheric, even compared to the other Kendrick and SZA collabs on GNX. But even with Kendrick showing off his melodic side, which sounds more polished and refined than ever, he still manages to show that he is the most skilled rapper alive, but in a much different way, as through this melodic banger, Kendrick is still being as competitive as ever, as he is subtly alluding to Drake on this track and whoever else may have been tiptoeing around his name, but mainly is just taunting and really poking fun at Drake and the absolute mess his career is in right now as a whole. And this is what's so clever about this song, because if Gloria from GNX was the outro for Kendrick Lamar's 2024 run, 30 for 30 is the epilogue, where Kendrick is looking back on everything even further removed from these events and is just adding a whole entirely new perspective to it. And so when it comes to this lyrical performance and how it's just letting Drake quietly know that Kendrick is still seeing everything he's doing and is just laughing at him because of how humiliating it is. Before we even get to Kendrick's actual bars, with the song title itself 30 for 30, Drake has a song from What a Time to Be Alive called 30 for 30 Freestyle, and while when I saw people trying to connect this online, I thought
Okay. I get why people now want to say it's to do with Drake. Because it's like the timestamp thing, that was Aubrey Graham's thing, let's be real. So obviously with 16 in LA, cool. But that was within battle rap, battling, whatever. So I get it. And obviously Aubrey Graham tried to say, you know what? Cool. Let me take the hard part 6. But you know what Drake did? That was so really interesting. The fact that he took it and he waved the white flag, you know what I mean? Because he's got heart, you know what I mean? Because he's like, I don't want to battle you no more. You know what I mean? He's got heart, let's be real. He's got heart. However, I will say this. What Kendrick did was super smart. Because in GNX, he said, you know what? Listen, this is the real hard part 6. You know what I mean? And he didn't even address nothing to do with Drake or anything. He just let people know his thoughts and feelings on like, you know, the whole black hippie situation, or not necessarily the black hippie situation, that's his whole come up and all that stuff there. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good to see, because when you think about it, he's still working with TDE, even though he's no longer on TDE. You know what I mean? Because right now he is the top dog. You know what I mean? Aye, you like that bar there, innit? Anyway, like, follow, share, subscribe, football. Let's go. Anyway.
It was just nothing. When you realize that this is the track from Drake where he is rapping about how the industry has come together to try and end his run at the top. And ever since Drake decided to go after his label, Not Like Us as a whole, and a lot of other major industry powers in his suit, this song has been referenced non-stop by OVO and his community as they seemingly think it was Drake predicting the future. This title seems to be very intentional on Kendrick's end, and again, even when he's making fun of Drake, when you remember the tone of this track, it's supposed to be very light and fun compared to everything else he has dropped this year. Kendrick is both trying to mock Drake and what he is doing within this moment in time, as he just pulled out the saddest and most pathetic move ever to try and change the narrative of a rap beef. And when in the hook of this track, Kendrick is repeating I'm 30 for 30 over and over again, this seems like Kendrick's way of saying that it's not the industry who ended his reign, no matter how much he wants that to be, so he can try to cope with the fact that he lost in the biggest rap beef of the century.
Nah, but you know what's crazy with this whole situation? It's like, obviously you guys know I'm not a big Drake fan, never have been, never will be, right? But so obviously I haven't heard 30 for 30 freestyle, but if he is kind of in a way predicting the future, then the reality is you have to understand your words are very powerful. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's why you need to be careful with the words you choose to speak. Like, even when you're talking to someone in general, be careful of the words you're speaking. That's just the reality of life. That's how it goes sometimes. So I will say this. I'm not going to say, like, obviously his other actions didn't count, because, again, also that does count. You know what I mean? You can't act as if you are like, first of all, if you want to be number one at something, right? This could be anything, any type of career or whatever, right? It doesn't have to be just music. It could be anything. You have to make sure that you do everything possible to make sure you are, I'm not going to say that you're perfect. No one in this world is perfect. But don't act as if you don't have flaws. Don't act as if everything or everyone around you is perfect. Don't act as if you will always be at that top forever when you reach that top. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't know if you see if you caught my live the other, it was actually yesterday, and I believe it was Rose from Blackpink. She got a song called "On the Ground," and it's interesting. This, like, yes, he's a K-pop artist, yeah, but you have to understand something. He said when she was in a nutshell, she's saying when she was searching, when she was trying to climb to the top, whatever, she found out everything she was looking for was on the ground, meaning now she's able to stay grounded. That's my interpretation of the song, and I could be completely wrong, but that's my interpretation. So with this, if we translate it to this situation, what I'm trying to say is Drake, you know how some people act as if once they're at the top, they feel like they can stay at the top and they're invincible. No one's invincible. No one. Doesn't matter if you're on top for like 10, 15, 100 years. Eventually, if you have to humble yourself. Literally, you have to humble yourself. Yes, celebrate when you need to celebrate, but humble yourself also. Anyway, let's keep moving.
But that it's actually just Kendrick who outplayed him in the beef. And now on the second verse of this track, Kendrick seems to send out another comedic jab Drake's way, which references some of the moments we all went crazy over earlier in this year when he says, "You F with that's thinking they cuter than you. Oh, say you on your cycle, but he on his period too." And this seems to be a...
See, when someone tried to say, "Oh, that to do," because I remember I saw it on Twitter as well. Someone tried to say, "Oh, that's at Drake." I don't necessarily think so. That could also be a shot at 50 Cent. I'll be real with you. I'll be real with you. Listen, look, watch. You F with the ninjas that thinking they cuter than you. You say you're on your cycle, but he is on his period too. I know it sounds like that would fit great for Drake. Like, no joke. Just knowing how he is. Yeah? Knowing, you know what I mean? But if you think about it, like the way 50 acts now and again, come on. Listen, I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. But I could be wrong. It could just be, again, maybe it is for Drake. Maybe it's not. Maybe he's just saying it for the sake of just saying it, because letting people know that, if this fits you, take it. It's the same thing with the whole that I don't even want to give him free promo in it. Well, you know what I'm talking about. It's the same situation. He didn't mention his name, but what he did say was something along the lines of letting people know that if you know what I mean? Don't let no white comedian speak on black women. That's law. Then he references, like, basically, I don't know if I can actually say this word, but I'm going to spell it because YouTube can be a bit techie sometimes. Like a COON. Oh, I can say raccoon. Let me say raccoon. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you think about it, right, he wasn't talking about that person. He was talking about the raccoons, which is so ironic when you think, when I'm saying this could be about 50, because, hey, listen, everything comes full circle. Anyway, let's go.
And this seems to be another jab at Drake, and also Kendrick's way of laughing at SZA for the run of songs she did with Drake back in 2020.
Oh yeah, hang on. Do you know what? Maybe it is about Drake. Because in that song, he mentions about Kendrick and SZA. What's the lyrics? Something about wipe down. They specifically said wipe down. Because remember, Drake in Push-Ups said, SZA, was it in Push-Ups? He like, SZA got you wiped out, Taylor got you wiped down because of the features with, okay. Maybe it's a Drake, I'm wrong.
And specifically the song and music video from RBD. As considering that this song with Drake and SZA was the more popular record that they did during the For All the Dogs era, and that Sexy Red was featured on this track, and considering how this bar seems to be an extension of the line from Euphoria about Drake standing next to her and what he thinks when he's doing that, All in all, this just seems like an extension of that all-time great line, and a way for Kendrick to playfully laugh at SZA for her little run that she had with Drake in 2023.
I'm gonna ban you as well. How could it ban? That's good though, man.
Which I'm sure now that looking back on these events, seeing Drake so playfully run alongside somebody who represents Top Dog Entertainment at its highest level and somebody who is so close with Kendrick definitely also pushed him to drop the verse he did on Like That in the first place. And now bringing this master performance in trolling full circle, on the outro of this song, Kendrick asked the chat if he should just go all out like he did this year one more time. And now of course by saying chat, Kendrick is not just asking the audience if they want to see more, but by specifically using the motif of a chat room. This really seems to be the full circle way of letting Drake know to stop looking like a clown the way he has been for months.
Oh yeah, because remember when Drake released Push-Ups, yeah, and Kendrick Lamar was seemingly to be taken long, and I was saying it for the longest. Even like I'm sure it's still up here on the 90s Baby Show when I called in and I said, "Watch, Kendrick is gonna drop something. You're gonna see. You're like I can't remember what I said verbatim." But I said, watch, Kendrick is going to show you, he's going to show the levels. He's going to show you he's that guy. Like, I was telling people this from the jump, right? And it's so interesting, yeah, because when you think about it, everyone was saying, drop. Even academics, sorry, my bad, academics was saying drop. And he was counting down the days. Oh, and that. Anyway, so I hear it because obviously that's the chat in itself, isn't it? Like, so you know what? Yes, Kendrick, drop another one. In fact, don't even drop another one now. Drop another one like 2 weeks or a week before. No, let's say a couple days before Super Bowl halftime show, and then yeah. Anyway, let's go.
Because we have seen Drake's all-time crash out since the beef nowhere more directly than on live streams. Because from the recent stream he was on where he just ranted the whole time about how rap was weird and how he only believes in the truth and not the fiction that Kendrick was saying to win the beef. And then throughout this entire stream, Drake just kept asking the chat what they wanted to see him do and say. So even when Drake jumped in a live stream chat and typed in custom...
Yeah. My bad. 30 for 30, yeah. Okay, it is about Drake. At least some parts of it. Hey, yo, that's wild.
And jump in on the viral meme regarding Kendrick Lamar's mustard line from TV Off. Overall, in this time where the lights are raising, Drake has been running around in chat rooms and seemingly hanging out with more streamers than he has rappers. So with Kendrick tying together this song by using the language that streamers use to communicate with their audience, this really all does seem to be intentional and Kendrick's way of just closing out
Speaking of streamers, if you're watching this live stream, yeah, me in the live stream chat, let me know what's up. Let me know you're feeling this video. Want me to do more content like this? You know what I mean? But yeah, man. Because I do find it extremely interesting how Drake, like, he really is crashing out. Like, Drake is really crashing out. It's like it's just one of those things where you're like, hey, yo, like, just chill, man. I mean, go to jail first, but. And yeah, anyway, let's go.
Out this year with a fun performance that beyond these lines celebrates and looks back at the dominance he has had over the entire field of hip-hop. But for Drake, in this time where he is dragging out this beef and its effects in a whole different way now, all of these lines that are connecting to Drake seem to be Kendrick's way of just responding to all of these current events going on within a manner that is not restarting the beef in a back and forth way, because we all know that for Kendrick, his job is over in that regard and he really doesn't need to diss Drake anymore because his career is already within a pathetic state. But even with that said, still, because of everything Drake is doing,
even Meet the Grahams there, that's when I knew it was already over. That's when I knew it was over. Before he even dropped Not Like Us, I knew it was over. He said, F a rap battle. This is a long life battle with yourself. That bar alone, I'm sorry. There's no coming back from that. There's like, because even if you think about the whole concept of Meet the Grahams, like, okay, yeah, you got Euphoria, but Meet the Grahams, and it was so sinister. Like, it was so sinister. I don't know if you've seen the video yet, but of was it Daylit. And basically talking about how Kendrick Lamar FaceTimed him, and like basically looking like a menace, like he was in that zone, like he was looking like the real boogeyman of rap. Do you know what I mean? I think that's when he was in the studio or just came out of the studio or whatever from releasing from recording or Meet the Grams. That's what I think. Because there ain't no way. Because that's why he's seen it from that energy, that from the way he was talking about it. But yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy.
Because of how crazy, ridiculous, and really pivotal to the future of the genre what Drake is doing right now as a whole is, Kendrick needed to acknowledge these things through some faint lyrical messaging, and the fact that Lamar was able to let us know that he has tapped into these current events and thinks that Drake is just as pathetic as the rest of us do, without even mentioning his name, and with the way Drake listens to music, unless somebody tells him, overall he'll probably never even find out. And tying these things together even further, when you look at the first lines Kendrick says on this track, which really call out all of his competition for the way they have been acting and how they actually can't.
Hang on, some of y'all come get washed. Some of y'all just gonna pop. Some of y'all just gonna talk, but none of y'all really about. Some of y'all just look lost. Yeah, I mean, you could say that's a shot at Drake. It could also be about the other person as well. That I'm not going to mention that person's name in it. This is the thing about lyrics, yeah, because unless they say a specific name and a specific situation, then you can say, all right, boom, it's about that person. But other than that, we're just speculating. But you can leave it out in the comment section below or in the live stream comments, and you can let me know what your thoughts are. Because me personally, I'm going to keep it as straight as it is, yeah? I do not know.
Can't compete with him in reality. Every one of these bars just aligns with what Drake is doing, and maybe even other people who have been speaking about Kendrick as well negatively, which altogether just ties this track as a whole as being this grand statement to the entire rap game one last time from Kendrick, where he is telling everybody that no matter what they do, they are not on his level. And so now with all of this, when you put this amazing song in perspective with this moment in time, Kendrick has just ended 2024 with another masterclass in lyrical skill, and while some people may think this is all too cryptic, Kendrick has sent out subliminals like this through a lot of his career, and especially over the past few years, because leading up to this beef with Drake, while it was impossible to tell back then, knowing what we know now, the dual pair of verses Kendrick dropped in 2023 with both the Hillbillies with Baby Keem and on his remix he did from Beyonce's Renaissance album were alluding and really predicting what was going to happen with Drake in 2024. Because from a verse where he was talking about somebody's career that didn't come with no insurance and that if it was gone, it wouldn't be able to be rebuilt, which was seemingly foreshadowing everything we saw in their back and forth, to the Hillbillies with Baby Keem, where Kendrick and Keem interpolated Drake's track Sticky from Honestly Nevermind. And while most people thought they were paying homage to Drake at the time, which now just sounds so ridiculous, they really were just mocking the low level of artistry Drake was bringing to the table, while at the same time showing that Kendrick can do what Drake does, but marginally better. And as the Hillbillies is a
I'm actually, when you think about it, wait a minute, because he's actually right. He's right. He's actually right, because even right back, in fact, no, he's 100% right. Here's why I believe he's right in this case scenario. It is because of what he said, but at the same time, there has been times where I forgot what lyric it was and what song it was, but Kendrick Lamar did say it was actually in this song. I forgot which one it was. He said since '09. He said something about since '09, and that makes me think, okay, yeah, okay, you know what I mean. And then obviously after that control verse, Aubrey Graham's been in his feelings ever since. But why he would think he could compete against someone that is genuinely from and for the culture, you are insane. But nice try, and we thank you. You know what I mean? Thank you. You know what I mean? That's all I can say on that part.
This is a track that was beloved by fans and also Grammy nominated. And Sticky is a song that is seen as something that is slightly better than the horrible album it's from. Again, what they did really makes so much more sense now, seeing how Kendrick moved in 2024. So altogether, checking how this song mirrors the Kendrick verses that came before it, as they are not making Drake the focal point of the track, but are alluding to what was about to happen in the case of the earlier performances and in the case of now what just happened. It's safe to say that Kendrick got the job done with what he was doing here, and beyond just lyrically humiliating Drake and everything he stands for. If Kendrick Lamar can now float this well over melodic songs, which from Luther to 3030 really is just showing us that he's elevating his entire craft and artistry to heights that we don't see for most rappers, period. With the events Kendrick and his team are preparing for the next year, if this is what the two artists who are about to go on an entire stadium tour can pull off, while we don't know
Now, like, what? It's so insane, yo. Like, it's funny. I find it kind of hilarious, though. That not hilarious, but I find it kind of. If you think about how 50 Cent got Ja Rule out of here because of him doing that melodic stuff. You know what I mean? And then. So yeah, 50 got Ja Rule out of it with that melodic stuff and that stuff there. But again, this is what happens when you're not authentic. That's essentially what's gonna happen. Yeah. And now it's ironic because Drake does melodic stuff as well. That like I like Drake with the melodic stuff. If you know, you know, Euphoria. But like I don't like when he be acting tough. Anyway, so and it's interesting because if you think about now, Kendrick Lamar is also doing that melodic stuff as well. But he's always been doing melodic stuff. If I'm wrong with you, if you genuinely listen to Kendrick Lamar, you know he's always been doing melodic stuff. Same with 50 Cent. That's what I basically want to say. It's the same with 50 Cent. He's always been doing melodic stuff as well, but the reality is he's always been authentic. That is why, and yeah, but anyway, I wonder what Ja Rule thinks about this whole beef, and wonder why 50 keeps taking sides. Where sometimes take the side of, one day you think he's taking the side of Kendrick, the next day you think he's taking the side of Drake. Whose side are you on? But Kendrick already said, I'll pick the side for you.
Know what's going to follow after this era we have seen, we can more than expect that whatever is going to happen next is going to be nothing less than peak music. And so now with all of this said, let me know, what do you think about this new song from Kendrick Lamar and SZA, and do you believe that Kendrick was poking fun at Drake for the clown show that has been his career recently here? Or do you think this is all too vague? Now I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you made it to this point in the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, it helps me out a ton. Now, if you want to see how right as Kendrick and SZA released this amazing musical moment, Drake's situation just got even worse because the music industry is starting to answer back to him and he can't handle the truth. Check out the suggested video.
You can't handle the truth! That's what I'm going to react to next. Ironically, that was what I was meant to originally react to first. But like, yeah, that's what I wanted to react to first. But obviously, if I saw that's the most recent video, you know I'm going to react to that. You just know. But let's see what people are saying in the comments. Shout out to Keenan Thompson. Thompson. Get me, legend. Keenan and Kel. And now SNL. Know what I'm saying? Been there for like 22 plus years. I listen. He's a legend in this thing, you know. Don't get that twisted. This guy right here is the obvious number one up. Not Duckworth. Keep them coming, homie. Doing the same if Drake was doing to Meek on Work. Drake kept throwing shots at Meek on pop records. Now he's on the receiving end, loving it. That's actually true. I really laugh. I literally laugh. I love this channel. Best beef channel. Speaking of that, I meant to react to some Trap Laws content. So if you want me to react to that, let me know in the comment section below. But let's leave a comment. I'm gonna say something like, But with each moment, you realize 24 is one of the best years for hip hop, as we are now back at the top with a pure lyricist, no, with a pure, real, authentic MC. Just wish to see more in 2025, especially from other artists. You get me though? Anyway, let's see what people. All right, listen. No comments yet, so you get me. We are only gonna do what's necessary. Yeah, let's go through this.